Sylvester Stallone sold his dog for $40 to survive. 3 weeks later, he'd be cast in one of the biggest movies ever made. Rocky was written in 3 days by a broke actor sleeping in a bus station. No one thought it would work, but that underdog story became one of the most profitable films in history and changed cinema forever. Behind those iconic training montages and that final fight are some unbelievable real-life moments, from heartbreaking sacrifices to on-set accidents that sent Stallone to the ER. Here are 20 weird facts about Rocky. And wait until you hear what Stallone told Carl Weathers to do during the fight. It nearly killed him. Number 1. Stallone wrote the script in just 3 days. March 24, 1975. Sylvester Stallone watched Muhammad Ali fight a nobody named Chuck Wepner. Wepner had no business being in that ring. He was a liquor salesman from New Jersey who bled so much they called him the Bayonne Bleeder. But Wepner didn't quit. He went the distance. He lost, but he didn't break. The underdog spirit of that match hit Stallone so hard that he went home and wrote Rocky in just 3 days, the same amount of time most people spend binge-watching a series. But writing it was the easy part. What came next nearly destroyed him. Number 2. He refused to sell the script unless he starred in it. Studios loved the script. They offered him $75,000, then $150,000, then $360,000. More money than he'd ever seen in his life. There was just one problem. They wanted Robert Redford, or Burt Reynolds, or James Caan. Anyone but Stallone. He turned them all down, insisting that he was the only one who could bring the character to life. That's the kind of bet everything on yourself energy that would make any entrepreneur today jealous. But that decision nearly left him broke and forced him to make one heartbreaking choice. Number 3. Stallone sold his dog to survive. Stallone was broke. Not Hollywood broke, actually broke. He was sleeping in the Port Authority bus terminal. His heat had been shut off. His wife was begging him to take the money. He sold his dog, his best friend, his only companion during the years of audition rejections and bit parts, a 140-pound bull mastiff named Butkus. He sold him for $40 to a stranger outside a convenience store because he couldn't afford dog food. 3 weeks later, United Artists finally agreed. Stallone could star in his own movie. Budget, $1 million. Filming time, 28 days. The first thing Stallone did, he tracked down the guy who bought Butkus. It cost him $15,000 to get his dog back. Over 375 times what he sold him for. And that's not the end of Butkus's story. Number 4. Butkus was Stallone's real dog. The loyal companion you see in Rocky and Rocky II wasn't a Hollywood prop. That's Stallone's actual dog, Butkus, the same one he had to sell and buy back. He became an essential part of the movie's emotional core, and every scene with him carries that weight. Stallone later said, "He was with me when I was poor, and he was with me when I was rich." With Butkus back by his side, Stallone faced his next impossible challenge, actually making the movie on an insanely tight schedule. Number 5. The entire movie was filmed in just 28 days. With a budget of about $1 million, the production had to move fast. The entire movie was filmed in less than a month. That's less time than it takes most YouTubers to edit a single video today. Shot across Philadelphia and Los Angeles, director John G. Avildsen filmed many scenes guerrilla style without permits, including several outdoor sequences. They were basically run-and-gun filmmaking before that was even a thing. One of those improvised shots became one of cinema's most famous moments. Number 6. The jogging scene was completely improvised. The now legendary scene of Rocky running through Philadelphia and sprinting up the museum steps was filmed early in the morning with no crowd control, no permits, just pure hustle. Stallone simply ran while the crew followed with a new piece of equipment, the Steadicam. This was groundbreaking tech in 1976, basically the iPhone of film equipment. and Rocky was one of the first films to use it. It was so experimental that its inventor, Garrett Brown, was literally on set, teaching them how to use it in real time. That's why Rocky looked different from every other movie in 1975. They were inventing a new visual language with revolutionary camera movement that makes modern action films possible. But Stallone's commitment to realism went way beyond innovative camera work. Number 7. Stallone took real punches during filming. Stallone wanted the fight to look authentic, so he told Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, to actually hit him. No pulled punches, no Hollywood safety choreography, just real contact. Weathers didn't hold back. It worked, but Stallone ended up in the emergency room with broken ribs and a swollen chest cavity. The doctor told him he was lucky he didn't die. Stallone went back to set the next day. He later joked, "It was the most painful realism I've ever achieved." And you thought your job was rough. That dedication extended to every single frame of the climactic fight. Number 8. The final fight took over a week to film. The climactic match between Rocky and Apollo wasn't freestyle boxing. It was choreographed like a ballet. Every punch you see in that final fight, planned. Over 70 camera setups. 8 grueling days of filming, and every bead of sweat was intentional. But here's where it gets really wild. When it came time to film the audience reaction, the production hit another wall. Number 9. Most of the crowd was cardboard. They couldn't afford extras, so the crew filled the arena with cardboard cutouts dressed in 70s clothes. Only about 30 real people were actually in the stands, and the rest were clever lighting and cardboard to create the illusion of a packed crowd. Before CGI could fill stadiums with digital crowds costing millions, Rocky did it with literal cardboard, and somehow it's more charming. It's the cheapest special effect that still works today. Even the smallest details in Rocky carried personal meaning, including a pair of very familiar pets. Number 10. Stallone's real turtles appeared in the film. Rocky's turtles, Cuff and Link, were real, and they still belong to Stallone today, nearly 50 years later. He shared photos of them on social media, alive and healthy. They've appeared in multiple Rocky and Creed films as subtle Easter eggs. Those turtles have literally outlived most Hollywood careers. Can you believe all this came from a $1 million budget and a script Stallone wrote in 3 days? If you're Team Underdog, hit that like button. And if you're loving these behind-the-scenes stories, you're gonna lose it when you hear about the meat-punching scene. Number 11. The meat-punching scene was improvised. No one told Stallone to punch raw meat. He just saw a side of beef hanging in a freezer and started hitting it. The crew loved it. It stayed in the movie. That scene ended up being one of the most imitated training shots in movie history. Every boxing movie since has copied it. Million-dollar training montages trying to capture what Stallone did on pure instinct because they couldn't afford a real gym. Sometimes the best creative decisions come from having no other options. But the film you know and love almost had a completely different ending that would have changed everything. Number 12. The original script was much darker. In the original script, Rocky threw the fight. He got paid to lose, took the money, and walked away, cynical and broken. The studio hated it. They told Stallone nobody wants to watch the underdog give up. So Stallone rewrote the ending. Rocky lost, but he didn't quit. He went the distance. And in that moment, bloodied, exhausted, but standing, he won something bigger than a belt. That rewrite transformed it from a depressing drama into a timeless underdog tale. And that wasn't the only ending that got rewritten. Number 13. The original ending didn't include Adrian. The original ending didn't have the crowd scene you know. Rocky and Adrian just walked into the night. No reporters, no chaos. Just two people in love, quietly leaving together. Stallone realized that was wrong. The audience needed release. They needed catharsis. So he added the ending you know. Rocky calling for Adrian through the chaos. The crowd roared, Two broken people found each other in the madness. That iconic Adrian moment became the emotional payoff the entire movie built toward. Speaking of casting, another moment nearly knocked the entire production off course. Number 14. Carl Weathers almost didn't get the role. During his audition, Carl Weathers was so confident he challenged Stallone's acting to his face. He didn't even know Stallone had written the script and was the star. But that raw, fearless energy was exactly what Apollo Creed needed, and Stallone hired him on the spot. You thought your job interview was bold? This guy insulted the writer star and got hired for it. That same fearless energy led to one of the most famous lines in cinema. Number 15. "Yo, Adrian," wasn't in the script. The line, "Yo, Adrian, I did it," became Rocky's signature, but it was never written down. Stallone shouted it spontaneously during filming, the same way the best viral moments happen today. Pure, unfiltered emotion that you can't fake. The raw authenticity in that moment helped carry Rocky all the way to the Oscars. Number 16. Rocky won 3 Oscars, including Best Picture. Despite its tiny budget and unknown star, on March 28, 1977, Rocky was nominated for 10 Academy Awards. Nobody thought it would win. The competition was Network, All the President's Men, Taxi Driver, legitimate films with real budgets and movie stars. Rocky won 3 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Editing. Stallone was nominated for Best Actor and Best Screenplay, something only Charlie Chaplin and Orson Welles had ever done before. The guy who sold his dog for $40 was standing on stage holding an Oscar. The film became such a cultural phenomenon that Philadelphia itself claimed ownership. Number 17. The Rocky statue came later and stayed forever. The bronze statue of Rocky at the top of the steps wasn't created until Rocky III in 1982. After filming Wrapped, they tried to take it down. The city wouldn't let them. People were visiting it, taking pictures, bringing their kids. It wasn't a prop anymore. It was a monument. Today, it's one of the most visited landmarks in Philadelphia and one of the most Instagrammed spots in the city. More people visit the Rocky statue than the Liberty Bell. From movie prop to cultural icon to Instagram location, Rocky transcended cinema. But family played a big part in Rocky too, both on screen and behind the camera. Number 18. Stallone's family appears in the film. Stallone's father, Frank Sr., appears as the timekeeper during the final fight, while his brother, Frank Jr., sings in the opening scene as a street performer. Stallone loved giving small cameos to the people who supported him from the start. It was his way of saying, "When I win, we all win." And sometimes, the production's biggest limitations created the film's most beautiful moments. Number 19. The ice rink scene exists because they ran out of money. The ice skating scene was supposed to have a crowd, music, extras, the whole production. But crowds cost money they didn't have, so Stallone rewrote it on the spot. Just Rocky and Adrian, alone on the ice. No music, no extras, just 2 awkward people falling in love in an empty rink. It became the most intimate scene in the movie, not because of what they planned, but because of what they couldn't afford. Sometimes constraints breed creativity that money can't buy, and that philosophy, choosing heart over spectacle, helped build one of the biggest success stories in cinema history. Number 20. Rocky earned over $225 million on a $1 million budget. Against all odds, Rocky made over $225 million worldwide. That's a 225 times return, becoming one of the most profitable films ever made at the time. Stallone went from sleeping in bus stations to becoming one of the biggest stars on Earth. But here's the thing. Rocky isn't just a movie about an underdog. It lived it. Every rejection, every sacrifice, every improvised moment you just heard about, that wasn't method acting. That was survival turned into cinema. The message wasn't written. It was earned. And that's 20 weird and wonderful facts about Rocky, 1976. Every fact you just heard, the sold dog, the cardboard crowd, the improvised lines, the rewritten ending, the real punches that sent Stallone to the ER, isn't just trivia. It's proof that Rocky's message is real. This is why the film resonated so deeply when it hit theaters in '76, and why it still connects with new generations discovering it today. You don't need a massive budget or perfect circumstances to create something legendary. You just need to refuse to stay down. That spirit defined the best of '70s cinema, and it's a lesson that matters more than ever. Which of these facts hit you the hardest? Was it the dog story, the fake audience, or that beautifully improvised ice rink scene? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing which moments resonated with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more behind-the-scenes secrets from Hollywood's greatest films. Your support helps us keep bringing you these untold stories from the golden age of cinema and beyond. And if you loved this deep dive into '70s movie magic, you've got to check out Grease 1978, 20 Weird Facts You Didn't Know. Browse our videos and find your next nostalgic deep dive. Thanks for watching, and remember,